Hi, this is Jonathan from Mill Street Gardens. Going to give you a tour of the garden center. We'll start right here out front with one of the beds that we planted when we first bought the property. So we have a ribbon lace hydrangea. This is a cool, very unusual hydrangea, different foliage. And then there's a bed of hosta. It needs to be weeded, so don't mind the weeds. And then over on this side, we have some Proven Winners heuchera or coral bells. This is a variety called Black Pearl. Then we have a fescue. It's a blue fescue called Elijah Blue. And then there's an aster here. This is called Monch. And then this is an anise hyssop or agastache, just getting ready to flower. And this one is called Golden Jubilee. Behind that, we have some coral berries, Symphocarpus. This one's Proudberry, also from Proven Winners. And then behind that is Veronicastrum. And then we have a clematis, purple one called Jackmani, kind of a standard purple clematis. And then we have an elderberry. I believe this is an elderberry nigra. So this one's not native to the United States, native to Europe and Asia. This is a gold tower. So an upright kind of columnar style elderberry. In the front of the garden center we have our annuals. Not much left at this point of the season, but we do have some nice geraniums and marigolds and dusty millers. These are cool, these are unusual. This is a mahogany splendor hibiscus. I can grab a pack. They have cool maple leaf. They get really tall. Grown for the foliage. Some celosia, sweet alyssum, some wax begonias, and some spikes. And over on this side of the garden center, we have our shade perennials, a variety of coral bells. We have some Palace Purple, some Caramel, and Lemon Love. Those are some varieties that are not from Proven Winners. And then from Proven Winners, we have three. We have, this one's Apple Twist, Dolce Apple Twist. We have Black Pearl, like you saw in the garden bed over there. And then we have Cherry Truffles. And these coral bells are really big and nice, full of cool leaves and really cool flower stalks. Mostly grown for foliage, but they do have nice flowers that attract bumblebees. And you can see there's some bumblebees flying around. Actually, that might be a honeybee. Flying around, checking out the plants. This is a Brunnera, really cool foliage, and then it has true blue flowers in the springtime that look a lot like forget-me-nots. This is a spikenard. It's a Aurelia Sun King. Nice grown for its foliage. Nice plant for the shade. Provides a nice chartreusey color in your shade. Some ground covers like a Juga, Bronze Beauty. There's some periwinkle, some lily of the valley, some pachysandra. There's another cool foliage leaf perennial. This is a pulmonaria or a lungwort. This is Mrs. Moon. So green leaves with the silvery spots, and then it gets a bluish purple, bluish pink flower in the springtime. Then we have a bunch of different astilbes. This is one called Deutschland. So it has nice fluffy white flowers. Then we have a tall variety, purple candles. So purple plumes. A ground covery one, Pumila. This is kind of a dusty pink color. And then this one is Bressingham Beauty, another pink one. Okay. We have some gold hearts. This is Dicentra. Hold on to that. Has a yellowish gold foliage, and then gets your traditional pink flower. Gold heart Dicentra. Some Virginia, pig squeak. So really cool foliage, kind of cabbagey looking, and then it gets a stalk of pink flowers. Then hosta, lots of hostas. So this is a variety from Proven Winners called Autumn Frost. Green centers and yellow margins. And the other one from Proven Winners is Empress Wu. And these are first year plants, so they're just starting off. And this is a huge, absolutely huge hosta. This is 3 to 4 feet. Massive hosta with pure white flowers. And we have Gold Standard. That's this one here. Yellow centers with just the smallest bit of a green margin. And this one is August Moon. So basically a chartreuse, pure yellow. So those are your shade perennials. And then as we enter into the garden center, we have a couple of kind of showcase beds right now set up for pollinators, so for hummingbirds and butterflies and bees. We have a nice little sign that tells you which ones are good for butterflies, which one's good for hummingbirds. And then kind of so the right hand side is good for hummingbirds, I think. Yep, hummingbirds. The left is for butterflies, and then it's for both. This is a nice hardy hibiscus. This is Summer Carnival, so it has a variegated leaf with kind of some pink and white margins, and then it gets a nice kind of deep pink to reddish flower. Here's another nice native. This is cardinal flower. This is a lobelia cardinalis. So kind of a basil kind of plant with a big stalk, and then it gets some really showy red lobelia flowers. Here's some more plants from our friends and Proven Winners. This is a Proven Winners buddleia. This is Pugster pinker. Kind of a pink butterfly bush. And we have Cephalanthus or button bush. This is Sugar Shack, also from Proven Winners. So it gets a really cool white kind of puffball looking flower. And we have Beyond Midnight, which is a Caryopteris, or a bluebeard. So kind of cool foliage, and then it gets these little tiny bluish purple flowers. And I got some beard tongue here, which is just kind of getting past its peak with flower. But what's cool about beard tongue, this is a variety called Mystica, is after the flowers are gone, you see these little seed heads. They kind of turn like glossy purple, and you can leave them on there if you just clean off kind of the spent flowers, and you'll still have a little bit of show with the seed head. All right, and then we got Sugar Tip. This is a Rose of Sharon, Hibiscus syriaca. So this has a nice variegated leaf, and then it gets a double, this blush pink, just barely pink color flower. And we have Sensation Ansera or honeysuckle. This is a nice fragrant honeysuckle. This is not a native one, but it's not invasive like some other honeysuckles are, so it will not take over your yard. But nice, vigorous grower nonetheless. And it has scented flowers, which is a plus. And we'll keep going into the garden center. Roses, we don't have much roses left this year. We have an Oh So Easy Lemon Zest from Proven Winners. It's a nice landscape rose, disease resistant. And then we have a couple of Golden Showers, upright climbing roses. Nice. So then back into this section, the garden center, we have sun perennials. So we have a series of beds with sun perennials. We have some hydrangeas and some shrubs. We have Japanese maples and some climbers. And then we have a couple benches of native plants. And then in the lawn, we have a variety of large shrubs. Then we have a ton of hydrangeas. So here at Mill Street Gardens, we focus on hydrangeas that do well in our zone. So a lot of times you buy a hydrangea, you get one of those kind of traditional blue and pink ones that, you know, bloom on old wood, and maybe they bloom that first year because you bought it from the nursery. They were well taken care of, they were protected. And then we have a typical New York snowstorm, and next year they don't bloom. You wait again, and the year after that they don't bloom. Then maybe you get one little tiny bloom, and then they don't bloom. So here, we don't want you to have that garden failure. So we stock hydrangeas that are proven to bloom in our environment. So we have lots of arborescents or mop heads, like this ribbon lace. We have some cool variegated styles. This one I forget, it's like Yoshini Yuki Gisho, excuse me, which is a variegated arborescent style. And we have your oak leaves or quercifolia, so cool oak leaf with really cool fall interest, and panicle shapes. We have a couple different varieties of those. We have, if you want the ones that turn blue or pink, we do have serratas. So this is a variety from proven winners called Tough Stuff Aha. So this one is a serrata that has double flowers. So you can see the bracts are double. They're layers of different flowers. And then depending on your pH, if you're alkaline or basic soil, you get pink. If you're acidic, then you get blue. So if you want that color kind of variety, something more like a serrata. Here's a smooth hydrangea. This is Invincible Lime Etta. That's also from proven winners. And then we have some Invincible Lace, also from proven winners. Okay, and now we're getting into the panicle style hydrangeas. So we have Pink Diamond. We kind of have your standard panicles. And then we have Limelight Primes from proven winners. And just to kind of show you, these are really nice plants, nice sized plants. So this is a panicle hydrangea. This is based off of the Limelight. You may be familiar with the Limelight, but this is an improved version. It flowers more. I think the stems are a little stronger. Just all around improved plant. And then we have Pinky Winky. This is my favorite when it comes to the hydrangea. So you have your white blooms that kind of fade to pink, which gives you that Pinky Winky double coloration. And then the stems are also pink, which is kind of cool. Okay. Then we have, and then both the Limelight and the Pinky Winky are like 6 to 8 feet. So kind of a big panicle style. And then we have Pufferfish, which is a smaller panicle. This is 3 to 5. So absolutely loaded with white panicles of hydrangea flowers. But it will stay smaller if you need a smaller hydrangea for your area. And this is Bobo. This is one that Proven Winners has had for a little while. Pufferfish is relatively new. So kind of like pufferfish, but less blooms. Still a nice plant though. And then we have some PGs. So lots of selections of cool hydrangeas. Again, sticking with those varieties, arborescens or mop heads, your corifolias or oak leaves, your serratas or mountains. And the mop heads are also called smooth hydrangeas. And then your panicle or paniculata hydrangeas, the ones that will do well in our area. And then we'll head over to the natives. So as I mentioned, the Annabelles or smooth hydrangeas, the mop heads are native, so we do have them in our native section. You can see some beautiful big mop head blooms there. And then Invincible Lace is also based off of an arborescens, so we consider that, even though it's cultivated, we consider that part of our native family. We have Physocarpus or nine barks. We have Coreopsis. Here's that oak leaf hydrangea. We have some viburnums in the back. These are Wentworth viburnums. We have that Itea, that's and some butterfly bush. There's swamp milkweed, so that, or butterfly weed, excuse me. So that's your Asclepias incarnata. Then we have another bed tucked here between the native bed and our landscape size shrubs. We have some cool plants back here. So we have, this is a variegated weigela. I believe this one's Nana. We have some black snake root, mountain mint, Pachanthema muticum. We have some lavender. These are Munstead lavender or English lavender. We have some bluebirds, excuse me, hydrangea. Those are some lace cap hydrangea. We have a forsythia tucked back there. A swath of some sedum. A big patch of beard tongue or Penstemon digitalis. You see that bumblebee going into each one of those little tubes, grabbing its nectar. These really do attract pollinators, particularly bumblebees. Some ribbon grass, there's that strawberry and cream, to kind of give you an idea of what that can kind of turns into. It's a good size grass, and it has a good habit. It just kind of mounds, doesn't go crazy, and then you get some cool interest with the seed heads. Okay, and then this is our shrub bed, so good landscape size shrubs. So we have a bunch of Amur privets. You see that they are in bloom right now, attracting bees too. We have a privet from Proven Winners called Golden Ticket. Oh, there's a butterfly or a moth on that one. Here's that privet from Proven Winners. This is Gold Ticket, so it has kind of a yellowish hue to it. Also getting ready to flower. And I find that Golden Ticket from Proven Winners seems to have bigger flowers than like the Amur. Like this one's really flowering. The flower pods are a lot larger than the Amur privet. So privet, there's some yellow nine barks. Then we have some dappled willow. Some more yellow nine barks. There's some flowering quinces. Here's some French pussy willows. We have a variety of lilac. So we have Sensation, which is a cool double. So it's kind of a medium purple with a white lining. And then there's a standard purple. Some burning bushes, Cotoneaster, black choke cherries, or chokeberries, excuse me. There's a dwarf Japanese juniper. That one is Nana. American cranberry viburnums, that variegated viburnum. There's arrowwood viburnum, so a couple different selections of viburnum. There's that Itea again, Itea virginiana, that's native. There's a sweet shrub, so the sweet Spire Henry, which is that Itea, and this is another native. It's a sweet shrub, Calycanthus. That's really cool, kind of ancient style flower, so it lasts a good long time, kind of like a magnolia. Some Primrose Beauty Potentilla. I won't talk about the boxwood because unfortunately soon we won't be able to be selling boxwood because of the, what's that moth called?
The boxwood moth.
The boxwood moth, okay. And there's going to be unfortunately a quarantine on that in Wayne County. Some spirea. So we have Little Princess and Anthony Water, and then some Gold Flame. Purple Beautyberry. There's a Fothergilla. Some Forsythias. And then we have some Space Bush, some purple sand cherries, and then some dogwood. So that's kind of the conclusion of the perennials and shrubs. We still have a little bit of veg and fruit, but we do always have vegetable plants and fruit plants stocked here at Mill Street Gardens. We usually carry a variety of things, so we have like haskell's or honeyberries, currants, we have both black and red, raspberries, yellow raspberries, red raspberries, variety of herbs. Have your standard stuff like basil, thyme, oregano, sage, dill, and then more unusual things like lemongrass. We have borage, purple basil. So try to throw in some things. A variety of different blueberry plants. And a bunch of different tomatoes. So we tried to find cool heirloom and unusual varieties. So we had Campbell 33, which is a variety developed by the Campbell Soup Company for tomato soup. Kind of cool. Roma's kind of standard. Beefsteak kind of standard. A New Yorker tomato. This is developed in Geneva. So that's kind of neat to have a local tomato. Mortgage Lifter, a big giant heirloom tomato. Ace 33, Black Crims. So a lot of cool different varieties, not your typical garden center fare. Then we have some peppers. We had Hungarian wax peppers, green bells, red bells, jalapenos. So, you know, we'll always have a variety of plant, veggies, and fruit plants here at Mill Street. Some grapes, some hardy figs, strawberries. And then back here, we have our tree section. So again, trying to stick with like the unusual things or kind of cool variants of common plants. So we have some curly willows. These are Kwanzaa and cherries. There's those Seven Suns flowers again. Those pinpoint blues again. Then we have a bunch of different dogwoods. We have some pagoda dogwoods, kusas, some variegated ones, some cool trees as well. Some ginkgo. Larch. So that's a cool conifer that loses its leaves. Kind of neat. Some hedge maple. That's a cool, unusual plant. A variegated sweet gum. And we have some Sargent crab apples. And then, behind the garden center is our showcase garden. So if you watched our video showing that first showcase garden bed, you'll see that we have, or you've seen that we have started putting in some of our beds. So we have a garden bed around the split rail fence. And we'll try to focus on things that we sell at the nursery just to show you what they look like when they're placed in the bed and kind of given their space to grow, kind of their full potential. But then also we're going to stock in some things that are kind of cool and unusual, just to kind of give that appreciation of gardening and give you some ideas about how to garden. So you'll walk in from the nursery into the showcase garden, and we have about an acre of and to play with back here. And you'll be greeted by a native bed with some tall, unusual plants. There'll be some kind of thrown in there just to provide foliar or seasonal interest. Natives. And then we have kind of our plants that we have in stock, kind of interest and give you some ideas about how to plant things. So there's those blue skywalker veronica again, that coreopsis again, those daisies again, the spirea, the coleberries. So a lot of the plants that you've seen already in the nursery put into a bed with that color variation, the variation thrown in there to give you some good ideas. And then the rest of this is a blank canvas for us to design. We hope to have a wedding venue here, a pond, and then just a whole bunch of different garden beds. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching. Keep an eye on our Facebook and our YouTube channel to see more updates as the Garden Center progresses. Thank you so much. That's all.